Okay, so what we have today is something very different from what we did earlier on, which is the Bhagavad Gita chapter-wise summary and themes that are there. And it's an insightful summary in the sense that we try to understand the structure of the chapter, and then we try to understand the learnings from the chapter, which is what I'm calling insightful summary. So we will see how it goes in terms of the entire matter. Now, of course, I put in 9 chapters. The remaining blanks will be filled in when we complete it. But these are simply the chapter names with which we are familiar or need to be familiar. But for the sake of being clear, the first adhyaya is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, second adhyaya is Sankhya Yoga, third adhyaya is Karma Yoga, fourth adhyaya is Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, fifth adhyaya is Karma Sannyasa Yoga, sixth adhyaya, which is on meditation, we had done a lot of shlokas, is Atma Samyama Yoga, seventh one is Jnana Vijnana Yoga, eighth one is Akshara Brahma Yoga, and ninth one is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. Of course, the 10th one is Vibhuti Yoga, 11th one is Vishwarupa Darshan, Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga, 12th one is Bhakti Yoga. But anyway, since we are not doing it today, we'll not repeat those names, but let's look at how it is structured. So the first chapter that we have, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, which is the chapter that many people would always have read, because when we begin our studies of Bhagavad Gita, we may not actually go beyond the first chapter. So usually first chapter people are familiar with, and it has totally 47 shlokas out of the 747 here. I'm going to have a cumulative total at the bottom row. And the important points in the discourse are that the first 11 shlokas talks about the various warriors in the two armies. This is Duryodhan talking to his guru Dronacharya. Then you have the description of the various conch sounds, Shankh Dhwani. So you have various names of the shankhs which are used by the different warriors. Panchajanyam, Hrishikesho, Devadattam, Dhananjaya. So Devadatta is the name of the Shankha of Arjuna. So it goes on and it describes the blowing of the conch shells and how it was reverberating. So that's till the 19th shloka, 12 to the 19th shloka. Then comes the very famous request of Arjuna to place the chariot between the two armies, and then he surveys the two armies. So that's from shloka 20 to 27. And then he says, Drishtvevam Swajanam, I see my people there. He does not see enemies there. He sees his own people. And then there is the meltdown, the famous meltdown of Arjuna. And that is what is described in about 18 shlokas, 19 shlokas that we have from 28 to 47. So this is the structure of the chapter. Now, the reason why I told Sunilji that I'm dependent on Professor or Dr. Ram Shankar Tiwari is he has written a book, which is a good book, which has, it's called The Yoga of the Gita. For a moment, I'll stop the share and show that to you here. So 1 minute. So I'm just showing it to you. It's a book called The Yoga of the Gita. It's published by Pustak Meher. It's easily available. I mean, I purchased it for about 80 rupees many years ago. When did I buy it? I don't know. The date is not mentioned here. Normally, I put the date. So Ram Shankar Tiwari ji has actually studied the Gita up and down, and he's a eminent scientist, and he has extracted his insights. Now, Rajesh, if you recall, I had requested, when you put those one-liners of the Bhagavad Gita as to the source. So the thing is that, firstly, one-liners are very difficult. So it is my surmise of what's striking to me, correct? And therefore, anybody can write a one-liner about the Gita, about each chapter of the Gita, because you take what strikes you to be the most important. So that's the reason why I had asked, who was the person, of course. Now, who gave the names to these chapters is a question. Now, this is by tradition. However, the important thing is that some chapters have got different names. So let me pull out the references that I have. And maybe we will take it up at the end of the session here. So these names have been given by tradition, and from where the tradition has evolved, one does not know, because even when Shankaracharya wrote his commentary in, let us say, he was born in 788 AD and he died in 820, which means he died at the age of 32. That's the tradition, though the Mathas would say that he's much older. But when he actually wrote the Bhashyam, the chapter names were already in place. And therefore, you could even say that Vyasa, the one who compiled the Mahabharata, because if you look at the Mahabharata, this is called, Bhishma Parva. In the Bhishma Parva, there is a Gita Sarga. Gita Sarga is a Gita chapter, and therefore, you might as well say that the divisions were made by Vyasa, but the names may have been given by tradition. Most of the times, the names have been standardized, but then we will see that a few chapters are called by different names, and therefore, as of now, the names that we use are the names that were present in the commentary by Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya is such a standard commentary that the number of shlokas he fixed at 700, not 701. If you recall, we always had the discussion about the 13th chapter, which traditionally has 34 shlokas, but sometimes has 35, and therefore the numbering changes. But in Shankaracharya's commentary, there are only 34 shlokas, which makes the number of total shlokas 700, which is the accepted standard. But in the Kashmiri recension of the Bhagavad Gita, there are 745 shlokas, and different chapters absorb the extra number, and the names of the chapters are also different there. So Kashmir is Kashmir was a intellectual powerhouse and a center of a lot of action in terms of philosophy, in terms of Natya Shastra. So there was a very famous author named Abhinava Gupta who wrote a commentary on Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. He wrote about the rasas that we have. So that is the thing. So I think it's a long answer to a very straightforward question, which is we don't know who gave the names. So divisions are very clear, but since there is a difference in the names of some of the chapters, it is something by tradition. Okay, coming back to the sharing of the screen, let me again go back to the chapter that we were looking at. So this is the first chapter, and we've seen that it is 47 shlokas, and we look at the learnings. Now, I'm not going through the 47 shlokas because that would be going back to the initial thought process of going shloka by shloka, but these insights from the first chapter are from Ram Shankar Tiwari ji's book, which is called The Yoga of the Gita, where, given his lifelong study of the Gita, he has drawn some inferences from the contents of the shlokas. So you can see the inferences are very interesting, and I'll read them. Of course, you are also directly reading what I'm going to be reading, which is be intensely aware moment to moment about forthcoming odd situations in life. Okay, this is derived from obviously Arjuna's situation. Do not believe in dishonest and unfaithful persons, even if they are close to you. This is his inference from the fact that Duryodhan had a lot of people who were yes masters. Take the disputed issue up to the threshold of a peaceful resolution. Fair enough. If you are pitched against an unscrupulous situation or person and cannot get out of the mud, fight with all your valor and might and not half-heartedly. Again, great words of advice. So these are all inferences, these are all deductions from the shlokas themselves. In the cosmic arrangement of happenings, you must act and not throw away your weapons. Fair enough. Your discriminative intelligence is your charioteer that functions efficiently when you're calm and composed, unagitated and serene. So we are all aware that when our intelligence gets clouded by emotions, we are not able to think with clarity and we are not able to take decisions. So this is an inference from the state of agitation of Arjuna. So these are lessons from the first chapter. Then the question is of acting and not reacting. So Arjuna was reacting to the presence of the relations, but not acting on them as though they were enemies. Then a battle for justice and righteous causes leads to peace and harmony. So you must always fight for what is right. Do not collapse under the pressure of indecision, decide and perform, stand erect and face the situation, keeping faith in the Supreme. And if you would want a one-liner, you have to understand that let your drive for vigorous performance be driven by cosmic intelligence. So Arjuna was disconnected with cosmic intelligence, and therefore he had all the agitation, and his ability to perform vigorously in the battle was obviously seriously impaired, because the last shloka of the first chapter very clearly says that he decided not to fight and then he sat in his chariot. Now, since the trend of the chapters is like this, we should stop at each chapter to discuss, because otherwise you would not actually remember what to think about. So I'm going to stop the share here for a moment, and I'm going to check with you whether you have any comments on the slides themselves in terms of the insights, or any questions to ask, and that's how we will proceed from chapter to chapter, because it's important, because each chapter has got a lot of insights. And if you look at the row-wise description, the subjects vary. The first chapter is easy, but as you go to the other chapters, you'll find that it is better that we take up the discussion after each chapter. So I'm going to stop here for a discussion on the first chapter. So questions or thoughts? Yeah.
As the slogan is, act, do not react. So it is a wonderful key. Once we will act, we will not have a stress and regret, etc. But how to develop that? Normally what happens कि our instinct वो उससे हो जाता है कि हमारा hot हो गया, कुछ हो गया. So some tips to develop that. It has to develop cultivating the habit. That is true. Maybe for easing the situation, to well understand the.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that many of the qualities that need to be cultivated are capable of being cultivated because they are a part of the Atma, actually. You know? So there's a hiding of these good qualities in each one of us because of our ignorance. So one way to get rid of ignorance is actually to meditate and to watch your breath. If you recall, I told you earlier.
That was wonderful.
तो घूम फिर के मामला वही आता है कि जब तक हम कुछ साधना नहीं करेंगे, इसको इंटेलेक्चुअली समझ के कुछ काम कुछ मतलब का नहीं है, इसको बोलते हैं शब्द जाल. सो गीता इज अ शब्द जाल इफ यू डू नॉट मेडिटेट, अकॉर्डिंग टू मी. बिकॉज क्या है भाई, आपने सुना, maybe there is one प्रवचनकार who is better than me, say वाह वाह वाह, चिन्मयानंदा ने क्या बोला जी. अरे चिन्मयानंदा हमसे बढ़िया बोलेगा, उसका भी कोई बाप होगा who will say better than him, but at the end of the day it is all useless for all of us if we do not purify our mind. So you see,
it has to be absorbed.
Yeah,
it has to be absorbed. It is not the vocabulary, it has to be absorbed.
Yeah, so आपको ध्यान करना है, आपको जो है चिंतन मनन करना है,
दृष्टिकोण बदल ले, अपना दृष्टिकोण भी हम एक ही डायरेक्शन में सोचते हैं तो
और तभी जो है दृष्टिकोण बदलता है, क्योंकि आपका जो दृष्टिकोण का बदलाव है, आप ये नहीं चाहते कि सिर्फ एक सिचुएशन के लिए हो, आप चाहते हैं कि हमेशा के लिए हो. तो कोई भी चीज आप लॉन्ग रन चाहते हैं तो इट हैज टू बी ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ रीवायरिंग द ब्रेन. आपका जो है न्यूरोलॉजी पूरा चेंज हो जाना चाहिए. जैसे आपने उसमें देखा ना कि आई डोंट नो वेदर यू सॉ द video of the Gayatri mantra. Did you see that? So it shows that there is a lot of neurological change in the brain when you chant the Gayatri. So some kind of dhyan is the weapon of the Indian. You know, see bhai, India में कहीं भी जाओ बोलते ना मंत्रोच्चारण से कुछ ना कुछ होगा. North, south, east, west. Correct? This is a strong belief. So doing your japa, doing your mantra, doing your parayana, जैसे आपने रामचरितमानस पढ़ा तो उसका सब इम्पैक्ट होता है टू चेंज द माइंड. तो जब तक आप जो है यू डोंट रीड अ होली टेक्स्ट एंड यू डोंट इंटरनलाइज द मीनिंग, सिंपली रीडिंग इट इज वन थिंग, राइट. अनुराधा पौडवाल गाती है, अब जो है उसके गाते गाते उसके मन में कुछ फर्क पड़ा है, वी डोंट नो, वी आर नोबडी टू जज. बट द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज, unless you meditate, unless you read a holy text with understanding, the changes will not happen.
मेरा एक व्यू है इसमें.
Thank you.
बोलिए. Yeah.
Shall I tell my view on this? What happens is कि इसमें जैसे कहा गया है ना कि जो आपके आपके नजदीक के लोग हैं, रिलेशन हैं, जैसे अर्जुन को जो विषाद हुआ था इसीलिए कि उसके रिलेटिव्स थे सारे। तो मैंने ये देखा है कि रियल लाइफ में अगर आप रिलेशंस को एनालाइज करने लग जाते हो कि वो राइट है कि रॉन्ग है, तो नॉर्मली रिलेशनशिप्स में दिक्कतें ज्यादा शुरू होती हैं। आप बाहर को तो एनालाइज करते ही हो, हर आदमी के अंदर एक एनालिसिस स्किल होती है कि ये सही कर रहा है कि गलत कर रहा है। तो अक्सर जिन रिलेशंस में, जैसे जिनको आप लव करते हो या जिनके आप फ्रेंड्स होते हो, इनकी अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा एनालिसिस करने लगते हो कि ये गलत है कि सही है, तो अल्टीमेटली वो आपके रिलेशनशिप में फर्क भी पड़ जाता है उससे। तो इस चीज को सॉल्व कैसे करा जाए, बिकॉज इसमें लिखा गया है कि आपको राइट है उसी चीज को देखना चाहिए, आप उनके एक्शंस को ही देखिए कि वो राइट है कि रॉन्ग है। जबकि हम लोग ऐसा प्रैक्टिकली अगर करते हैं तो रिलेशनशिप अफेक्ट हो जाती है।
Yeah, so that is very true. Of course, this is a unique situation where your relations happen to be enemies on the battlefield. But if you take a normal situation,
Yeah.
you can choose your friends, but you cannot choose your relations. Your relations are there with you throughout life. So, I mean, there's only one choice you make, which is that of your spouse, or of course, some people make multiple choices.
आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड कि हम अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं हमेशा, राइट एंड रॉन्ग जो है ना, दैट इज आवर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑलवेज। क्योंकि हम जब दूसरे के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें तो शायद हमें राइट और दूसरा चीजें दिखाई देना शुरू हो जाएंगी। जब भी हम एनालाइज करते हैं कि भाई ये उसने गलत किया है तो उसके लिए ये सही है, क्योंकि हमने उसका पक्ष नहीं देखा है। हमेशा जो डिफरेंसेस आते हैं इसलिए आते हैं।
एक उंगली दिखाई, तीन उंगली हमारे तरफ है, तो सिंपल।
तीन उंगली हमारी तरफ है, जो राजेश ने बोला, तो इसलिए हमेशा डिफरेंसेस आते हैं।
एक मैंने पढ़ा था अभी, कंपैशन सजेस्टिंग पॉजिटिव लिविंग, यू डेवलप कंपैशन। वी हैव ऑल आर इम्परफेक्ट, दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव कम ऑन द अर्थ। तो उसका इम्परफेक्शन हमको बर्दाश्त नहीं होता, अपना दिखता नहीं, तो हमें भी।
Yeah, so actually you will find, of course, we are all close to our siblings, we are all close to our wives and wives relations, but you must always understand ki Sanatan Dharma mein, apart from relations, there is also something called satsang. So satsang may not be with your relations. Satsang is what you have here, right? Where people of the same mindset get together. तो अगर आप सोचते हैं कि आपके रिलेशन में ही सत्संग होगा, तो ये जो है गलत फहमी है। We are usually in that mindset when we are younger, so we think that we get married into a family and there'll be good sort of learning and all. It may happen, may not happen, correct? So we ultimately realize that satsang is very different from relations. So that is at least my learning. Of course, if satsang and relations is one and the same, then you got married into a lovely family, right? But nobody can comment about anyone else's family. You are the best judge whether your relations are a satsang or your relations are to be kept as relations. It's a very personal matter, and therefore, nobody can be asked to answer this. But this is what we need to realize, that sometimes our best friends are not in our family. Our family or best friends come from outside the family. At least this is my learning. Okay, so we will go to the second chapter now.
Yeah.
Let's look at the learnings from the second chapter. So the second chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means Sankhya, ginna, do ginti karna. So Sankhya is knowledge, actually. In knowledge, you have categories of knowledge, you have chapters, you have sections. So the moment your intelligence can create a categorization, it shows that it is intelligent. And therefore, basically, that's the derivation of the term. But Sankhya Yoga means something like Jnana Yoga, though it is not. There's a separate chapter called Jnana Yoga, but then it means Jnana. Now let's look at the important. There are 72 shlokas here. So this is the second longest chapter, the longest chapter being the last chapter, which has got 78 shlokas. So 72 shlokas. Now let's look at what is the distribution of topics. So in the first 10 shlokas, Arjuna continues from where he had said he's not going to fight in the first chapter, and says that I'm still having a lot of, because Bhagavan gives him says, या तू नपुंसक है, तू ये है वो है. He gives him a few pieces of his mind, but then Arjuna says that he's still under distress and he surrenders to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So that's what we have in the first 10 shlokas. Then shloka 11 to 30 is the very high funda opening message of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, where he starts with, what is Atma? Bhai, tum Atma ho, tum Sharir nahi ho. So that's the highest level, and there's nothing higher than what can be told in support of the reality of human existence. So 11 to 30 are the key high-level metaphysical truths that we find in the Bhagavad Gita. All these shlokas are very, very important. So you have, I think we did a fair number of these also. Achedyo Yamadakyam, it cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt. You will recall some of these shlokas from this section. Then shlokas 31 to 38 form the third row, which is Krishna, Lord Krishna or Bhagavan Shri Krishna realizes that giving this high funda is not cutting any ice, and therefore he says, boss, you have to fight because you're a Kshatriya. People will laugh at you. This is an opportunity that every Kshatriya prays for, and you've got this opportunity to demonstrate your honor, to demonstrate your skill. So the call to fight is on the basis of his Swadharma. And he's a Kshatriya, so Kshatriya Dharam ke anusar aapko jo hai ladai karna hai. So that is shloka 31 to 38. Okay. Then from shloka 39 to 53, we have the doctrine of Buddhi Yoga and Nishkama Karma or Karma Yoga. Right? So Nishkama Karma is Karma Yoga, and as we realized from our thematic understanding, and actually it makes sense now because you've been through the themes and you understand some of the arguments that are there in favor. So shloka 39 to 53 are about Buddhi Yoga and the Karma Yoga. Then there's a question from Arjuna, which is, ये जो महान योगी है, ये कैसे भाई बात करता है? Is he someone who's a figment of your imagination, or does such a person actually exist? So then Bhagavan gives the description in 19 shlokas from 54 to 72 of the Sthita Pragya. These are the most famous shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. And Mahatma Gandhi used to read these 19 shlokas every day, and he read them for 60 continuous years. So there is no doubt about the fact that these shlokas, 19 shlokas, which are there at the end of the second chapter, have a way of penetrating into your own personality as you read them every day. So my humble submission is that even if you cannot read anything else, these are required in multiple doses. So read it every day and you will find the transformation. So one of the answers to Rajesh is how to ensure that you act and not react unless you have a steady wisdom. And the steady wisdom has to come from constant repetition of the behavior patterns of that wisdom. And therefore you have these 19 shlokas, which are of great value. And that's how we are able to look at this chapter. Now, in terms of learning, because there is also the learning. So learning, which again, Ram Shankar, so there are a lot of people, but I found his to be, interestingly worded. And therefore, what does he say? Divine knowledge is the key to stable happiness. This is based on the first 11 to 30 that we looked at. Discriminative intelligence can usher in the knowledge of reality. So unless you're able to discriminate between real and unreal, you will not be able to understand reality. Now, in the total cosmic perspective, truth is indestructible. जो सत्य है, जो सत है, उसको destroy नहीं कर सकते. Energy is imperishable. This is the scientist way of looking at the matter. And the self is timeless, which means that the self, your Atma, is not born, it does not die, it is timeless, beyond time. So it's a very interesting way of putting the knowledge that has been gained in the second chapter, especially the 11 to 30 shloka section. Then we have a little bit of the Karma Yoga coming in. So act with dexterity, skill also being a component of yoga without generating anxiety about the fruits of action. Total Karma Yoga description. manage your inner world as efficiently as your outer world. So this is where modern education fails, because it tells us how to efficiently manage the outer world, but does not indicate how to manage your inner world. So unless you manage your inner world efficiency, you cannot manage the outer world effectively. Then from the Sthitapragya section, we have some insights. Abandon uncontrolled turbulent desires. 1 minute. Abandon uncontrolled turbulent desires. They lead to agony of the mind. Make them a disciplined force and win. Fair enough. Attain perennial peace by unplugging your thought current from mundane pleasures and mental world. So the more you get hooked on to the news or current affairs to an extent beyond, and that's what modern media does. It keeps pumping the same message again and again till it becomes a compulsion to actually watch the television and watch the latest developments. So unplug yourself from that. Yeah, you need to know what's going around in the world, but it may not be an obsession to be up to date minute to minute. So unless you unplug yourself from the world, you will not be able to get the serenity and the perennial peace that is described here. Then the other learnings are, be in immense awareness towards perpetual changes in the physical and mental world. So always, Jagat means jo hamesha change hote rehta hai. So we have to understand the nature of the world is never a static world, it's always dynamic. And therefore you do need to know the news. In other words, you cannot keep yourself away from the news, but you should obviously have a very stable mind which looks at the news and not get tipped over or not get unbalanced. Then the 8th point is, don't chase a mirage of pseudo happiness that is doomed to vanish. Create peace within the yoga. So you must have, prasada, as I say. If you're peaceful inside, then no matter what happens outside. So pseudo happiness. What is pseudo happiness? Bhai, humne daru le liya.
It's 12 o'clock.
Right. So daru pi liya, so it's pseudo happiness, because as long as the effect of alcohol is there, but it's a mirage, and therefore the true peace comes from within and not from pseudo happiness. See, going on a holiday, going here and there, is a way, is okay, but will it give you peace of mind? Peace of mind is the internal. It's not dependent on where you go for a holiday. But of course, the modern tourism industry would not thrive unless destinations are sold. But you see, you can go to a destination, but if you go to with an agitated mind, it is not going to make any difference at all. And therefore, I think I'll just jump to the 10 points and come back to 9. No? Control your mind to control the world. I think that's a very, very powerful state. Coming back to the 9, don't believe blindly in fate, but depend on intuition and clairvoyance achieved through yoga about the universal scheme of things. So you can contribute your little mind. And the one-liner that you could have is, don't let your happy present be torn apart by backward pulls of repentance or regret for the past and forward pushes of anxiety for the future. I think we should write these words and keep it at our desk. So what happens is, my present moment, the mind's nature is to either dwell in the past or to dwell in the future. So the dwelling in the past is a backward pull of repentance. Are maine ye nahi kiya, or regret, I should have done it. And the forward push of anxiety. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know whether things will work out well. So your mind is never focused on the task at hand that you have in front of you, and therefore you are not efficient at all. And that's because you have not managed your inner world efficiently. Your external world efficiency is also limited. So that's what we have in the second chapter. I'm going to again stop here in line with our practice, but I'm finding that we will take a fairly long time to go chapter by chapter. But obviously, it gives you a very strong handle. So you know what's there in the second chapter. And if you actually refer to, because you see, the themes that I have put there in the table have picked up from, I've seen the themes in 4 or 5 books, and the way the themes are named also will help you appreciate. So if you read your Bhagavad Gita with those themes in mind, you'll make better sense rather than reading the entire chapter and wondering what's the learning that you have from the chapter. if you thematically approach the second chapter, let us say, okay, first 11 shlokas, first 10 shlokas, Arjuna's problem. Okay, fine. Then 11 to 30 is about the Atma. So, you know, when you read 11 to 30, you know that the broad subject running is about the Atma. So it is like giving proper sections to the chapter. It makes cognizance easier. Otherwise, it is so difficult. And the reason why I'm stopping, you know, as you can see, there are 4 themes here. So each chapter has got 4 or 5 themes. And when you look at the entire Gita, let us say 4 themes per chapter. So 18 into 4, 72 themes. So it's
You have made easy. You have developed made easy for us.
Yes, I'm telling you, because
that I was requesting you. You develop something like that for us.
I have not made it easy. It is these great people.
नहीं, that say for me it was
मैं तो cut copy master हूँ, cut copy master.
नहीं,
but
cut copy
ये जो
master
आपने
कहीं
पॉइंट्स
से
दिए हैं
सीखे।
ये तिवारी जी के लिखे हुए हैं।
All the points that are there.
नहीं, नॉट तिवारी जी के लिखे हुए तो पॉइंट्स हैं। इसके पहले जो चैप्टर वाइज जो दे रखा है, जो कैटेगराइजेशन किया है।
So I will tell you the 2 sources. जो चैप्टर में जो themes हैं, that is from the book called Gita Makarand. Okay, I'll just bring it and show it to you. Gita Makarand is
के पास गीता से संबंधित किताबों का भी खजाना है। मेरी लाइफ डिवोट किया है उसको।
यार देखो, कोई तो गुरु चाहिए ना, इनके लिए भी कोई गुरु चाहिए भाई।
बिल्कुल। इसको लिखा है स्वामी विद्या प्रकाशानंद ने। He was a great Swami and he has he's no more now, but he was a very popular speaker on the Bhagavad Gita. He used to speak in the Telugu language. Now he wrote a commentary on the Gita called Gita Makarand, which was so popular in Telugu that a professor of English, who was obviously from Andhra, translated it into English. So this is available, and this is one of the best commentaries, you know, in terms of explanation. So here you will find the same themes, you know, you can see here, you know, important points in the second chapter.
It is in Telugu language or it is in English?
No, it is in English. So what I'm saying is original is Telugu, but now it has been translated in English because of the popularity and the word of mouth that this is one of the best commentaries. Now you see, I have so many books. Each one of them has the reason for being there in the shelf. मैं तो बोलूँगा ये अच्छा है, वो अच्छा है.
नहीं, हम लोगों के लिए इतनी बुक पढ़ पाना इतना संभव नहीं है. What you have done, तो वो हमें लिए तो हरी क्यूरियोसिटी तो हो रही ना सॉल्व.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So I will tell you, there are other people who have put the themes. You know, Aurobindo has a theme. Now you will not understand head tail of what Aurobindo says. Aurobindo is very, very difficult to understand. So
नहीं, जैसा राधा कृष्ण का बुक हमने जब खोला ना, तो हमें कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. हमने उठा के रख दिया. हमने कहा पहले हम कुछ और पढ़ेंगे, उसके बाद हम पढ़ेंगे. फिर हमने कुछ और बुक खोली, तो पढ़ने की कोशिश करी. फिर हमें लगा कि कुछ इसको छोड़ करके भी कहीं दूसरी बुक पढ़ते हैं. तो आई गॉट कंफ्यूज. दैट्स व्हाई आई रिक्वेस्टेड यू कि गिव मी सम गाइडेंस के जहां से मैं शुरू करूं और समझ पाऊं कि मुझे पढ़ना कहां से है.
नहीं, इनफैक्ट राधा कृष्ण के बुक में भी डिविजन्स हैं. If you see,
नहीं
there are
होंगे definitely,
right?
But that is not
So
the for starters.
So it is not given in such a way that you will immediately absorb, because your mind will be getting, because I've been through this confusion myself, right? So every time I went through confusion, I will buy one more book of the Gita. This is what I've done in my life. Okay. And therefore, when I'm actually now having an audience of people, I know exactly for what kind of doubt, which book to pull out.
So what you have done in 25 years, we will be able to achieve in at least in 2 to 3 years.
No, absolutely, absolutely. That is why I will tell you what happened. You know, I must share this with you. That on Janmashtami day, my students in Bangalore, of course, one of them is in Meerut and the other one is in Hyderabad, but the others are all based here in Bangalore. So just to share with you, so we had all assembled at this particular student's house, and you know, many of them had not met me face to face because we've been doing this only online. So I was taken aback by the reception. I was feeling very embarrassed. As soon as I came in, they gave me a flower. and say, Guruji बैठिए. मैंने कहा भैया मैं not anything of that kind at all. He said, no, 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 you have opened up our eyes when it comes to Gita, and we will respect you. So it took me 5 minutes to get used to the immense respect given, right? But the point is, so I said that, look, I don't deserve
नहीं,
any
we
respect.
may not be offering you a flower, but
नहीं,
definitely, नहीं, we definitely, I can say, कि you have got that respect from our hearts. Definitely,
yeah,
we
You
can
deserve,
say.
you deserve
yeah.
that.
So I
You
could not
deserve that.
understand. Initially, I could not understand, to be
नहीं, हम लोग
honest.
भी फेस टू फेस मिलेंगे जल्दी थोड़ा दिन कोरोना खत्म हो जाए।
नहीं, मतलब मैं वाकई में मेरा जो चेंजेस आए हैं पिछले 7-8 महीने में जब से मैंने शुरू किया है, even that is acknowledged by my family also.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's wonderful to hear. Okay.
ये ज्यादा बड़ा एक्नॉलेजमेंट है।
मतलब
Yeah.
वो एक अलग बात है कि मैं एज ए बैचमेट हम लोग बात करते हैं और बहुत लाइटली लेते हैं, दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट
Correct.
डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ चेंज व्हिच इज एक्नॉलेज्ड बाय माय फैमिली, एंड दैट इज द बिगेस्ट थिंग इज माय डॉटर हैज got involved into it, which is attached to you also now.
Yeah, that is right. So
One situation I would like to share. इन
हाँ.
एक कवि सम्मेलन हो रहा था, तो एक वो कवि से कहा, लोगों ने रिक्वेस्ट की हास्य में सुनाइए. He said, what I am seeing, GM is sitting with his wife and he is smiling. इससे बड़ा हास्य रस क्या होगा? मतलब comfortable at home is the biggest asset.
Correct. So to answer your question, Sunil ji, the slides that I have put together, actually they are self-explanatory, in the sense that you should just go through them on your own. You don't need me actually to read, because the heart of the action is actually picking the two right books and making the PPT, right? So you should go through the PPT. That is my submission to you, because of course, discussion can always follow, but you should read the PPT and you should sit with the Bhagavad Gita and the themes there. And then you should try to, gather some kind of summary from yourself, because your conclusions and your insight may not be exactly Ram Shankar Tiwari ji's insight, right? Correct. But then, obviously, from what you can read of his insights, he has spent a lifetime in studying the Gita, and therefore, see, whenever anyone writes a book on the Gita, I have great respect for them, because I don't say that, look, he's not Shankaracharya or anybody, because anybody who writes a book on the Gita will not be able to write unless you have read the Gita up and down and have understand. Correct. So I respect everybody. इसलिए मैं पागल की तरह हर एक गीता का उठा लेता हूँ, because I have respect for the author who has committed pen to paper or keyboard to screen and has created the book. Because if you and me just sit down to write on the Gita, can we write? No, we cannot. Correct. So to say, अरे भाई राम शंकर तिवारी का कमेंट्री अच्छा नहीं है, स्वामी आदि देवानंदा का अच्छा है, इज फॉली. भाई हम कौन होते हैं? हमसे तो एक अक्षर नहीं, काला अक्षर भैंस बराबर. So we should respect. So what I'm saying is that any commentator, now you may not agree with the point of view, that's a different matter, but primarily all commentators deserve tremendous respect. That is the point of view that I take. So anyway, I think I have shared the sources of the.
ये जो लास्ट वन लाइनर लिखा है, ये आपका खुद का लिखा हुआ है?
नहीं, मैं भाई मेरा खुद का कुछ नहीं लिखा है, ये रामशंकर तिवारी का. देखो लास्ट लाइन ऐसे किया है ना, तो उसको मैंने बड़ा करके लिखा है, समझ रहे ना?
इट हार्डली मैटर्स कि किसने लिखा है, बट दैट इज अ गुड वन.
नहीं, बट हम लोग आपको भी राज कमेंट्री लिखवाई देंगे किसी दिन.
वो तो करेंगे, because you see, I believe that I'll just share with you something which is very interesting, which you may not have seen. 1 minute, I'll just go to presentations, because I think that would be something that would be interesting. Chapter 6, right? So I have the summary of chapter 6. So I'm just going to show this to you. So this, I believe, is a kind of interesting insight that I have. So what I'm sharing with you now is the possibility of my own little contribution. So I'll show you. Right. So this is the summary that I have of chapter 6. Okay, just to share with you. So this is totally based on diagrams. 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4. You have seen some of these also, I think. Correct? 6.5. I'm not actually going through each one. I mean, I'm just showing you that I have used some modern terminology to explain the concepts and words. So this is something that can be done for the entire Bhagavad Gita. Correct? So this, of course, some of them are very difficult to actually put into a diagrammatic form, but then I have 6.13, 6.14. So basically looking at a kind of different categorization of.
इसी को आप यंत्र बोलते हो?
हाँ, मैंने यहाँ तो यंत्र क्या होता है समझने के लिए एक टूल ना, तो मैंने उसको यंत्र बोल दिया, श्लोक के बदले यंत्र.
This model you have used in our during our presentation also.
Yes, yes. So
in some of the
yes, yes.
sessions.
So this is something that I definitely, for example, start point, process, outward. ये तो हमारा standard है ना, input, process, output. तो ऐसे बड़े सारे श्लोक हैं. So it makes the conceptualization of the shlok very important. So what I want to do is thematically also I want to organize. जैसे आगे अगर, so this is within the shloka, but you can also create some kind of concept diagram. In fact, आपका जो एक मिनट, I'll show you this. आपने शायद नहीं देखा होगा, मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ. This is our 1 minute. This is the Bhagavad Gita super site. In Bhagavad Gita super site, they have what is called a concept map of Vedanta. Okay. Okay, Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 का concept map है. देखिए, मैं आपको I'll just show that. You stop share and 1 minute. Share. हाँ. Right. So आपको दिख रहा है ना? So this is the concept, concept map of chapter 12. So what does he do? Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 is about yoga or devotion, which is principles and nature. Then, this is also like a yantra. Concept map is a yantra, basically, right? This takes a whole chapter. So what I have done is I have taken shloka by shloka, and then you can present the whole chapter also. So these are the things that will appeal to a more modern audience. Of course, you need to understand the Gita very well to create a concept map. So this is there. You can take a look at this. Levels of spiritual. So most of the time you see people, so let me stop the share and then, so the point of view that I have is, see, the only people who go so deep into the Gita are the folks from ISKCON. Okay. But I have a problem with them because, they have a very, very slanted point of view with which I don't totally agree. It's all a part of the entire understanding of the Gita. So you need somebody from other schools of thought to create, because the moment you click on any sort of site available on the internet, it is usually run by ISKCON. So hats off to their devotion. They have populated the entire internet with only their masala. But then you need other points of view of the Gita. Gita is not just one point of view, and therefore there's a need for yantra and a concept map and all that. So that's what I had to say. So my suggestion is that, see, I have created this logic for the 9 chapters. Okay. So we need not go through it word by word here in this particular session, but my submission to you is, please go through it across the week. In the meantime, I'll keep adding to that. I'll keep adding the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th chapter, 18 chapters. So essentially, this is not so much for, presentation, but for introspection. Correct? In the sense that you must use the themes to actually look into the Gita. Otherwise, whether I say 1 to 12 is this and 13 to 18 is this. Unless you go through the shloka, you will not see that the theme is the same, correct? So unless you see that the theme is the same, it is of no use. Because this is again knowledge which is second-hand knowledge, right? So first-hand knowledge is हमने shloka पढ़ा, 4 श्लोक पढ़े, and then we understand, aha, this is the common thread in these 4 shlokas as mentioned in the theme. So when you realize the theme that is there in that, in the theme. So my suggestion is that the first thing that you should do is, there are 9 chapters that have been done today, okay, in terms of availability. So you should go through the Bhagavad Gita, whichever edition you have, Hindi or English, and say, okay, by chapter 1, theme 1 is what? Blowing of the conches, let us say. Okay, so you read that, are they all blowing conches or not? Then yes, you've got a very strong picture of the first chapter. Then you go to second chapter, Shloka 11 to 30. Is it description of Atma? Do all the shlokas have that? Yes. Then you understand that, correct? So the insights of Ram Shankar Tiwari are at the second level. That once you read the shloka and once you say, bhai, what's in it for me? Then Ram Shankar Tiwari comes in, correct? Because he's not quoting the shloka to you directly. He is deriving the insight relevant for action from the shloka. So I have put it together in a way that you can actually look at the shlokas first, because unless you have a clear picture of the shloka, the insight, that's why insight kahan se aaya bhai? Kisi shlok se aaya na. So you'll be able to connect the insight of Ram Shankar Tiwari ji to the shloka concerned, and then you understand it better. So this is the plan that I have, and you see, at some point in time, we need to use whatever is being created for self-study. So Bhagavad Gita cannot be, Friday or Sunday. Bhagavad Gita has to be every day. Without it being every day, you will not be able to absorb the meaning. So at least we guys are all 60, so we have time for it to be every day, right? When we are younger, we can say, sir, ye kaam hai, wo kaam hai, ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai. But now we have got no excuse at all. And I think we should do it because it is for our good that, we'll be able to give advice to people. We'll be able to handle family crisis because family is still there. Family does not go away because you read the Bhagavad Gita. So there will be family crisis. There will be family issues. You can handle it better. So this is what I have to say, because I didn't want to read everything because obviously, it is also available for you to read as much as it is to me. And I've given you the source from where I have picked it up. So you have clarity that a very great Swami has written the themes, and you have clarity that the director of Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleobotany, a very eminent scientist with 150 research papers in international publications, has written the insight. So दोनों ने गोली नहीं दिया है. So if you read it, you will definitely benefit.
Yeah.
मैंने थोड़ा कृष्णा के बारे में लिखा था. मैंने एक लिंक आपको शेयर किया. मैं एक वेबसाइट रन करता हूँ, जन्माष्टमी.website.
Oh, wonderful.
तो ये काफी सालों से रन करता हूँ. तो इसमें मैंने कृष्णा फिलॉसफी के ऊपर कभी कुछ लिखा था. तो आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग. आप अपने उस पर विचार दीजिएगा. मैंने एक लिंक चैट में शेयर किया है.
Right. So you want me to take a look at it now and?
नहीं, कभी भी आप जैसे आप हमको भी होमवर्क दे रहे हो ना, तो हम भी थोड़ा सा होमवर्क दे रहे हैं. तो ये जो अभी आज का प्रेजेंटेशन है, ये डाला हुआ है ना उसमें शेयर में.
I create the presentations in the folder.
अच्छा, ओके. सो मतलब डालने की बात ही नहीं है, वही क्रिएट ही हो रहा है.
डालने की बात ही नहीं है, वो बनता ही उसके अंदर है.
तो अगर उसमें इम्प्रूवमेंट होगा तो वो ऑलरेडी मिल जाएगा हमको.
Correct. So whatever I have till date, you will find, and across this week, I'll keep on adding, 10th chapter, 11th chapter. भाई यहाँ से पढ़ के वहाँ डालना है. Correct. But it's a great value add because the probability of somebody having these two books and connecting the messages is very low.
See, अभी मुझे एक सवाल पूछना है चैप्टर 2 पर. ये जो आपने सांख्य योगा बोल रहे हो, तो जब मैं थोड़ा सा नेट पे पढ़ता था सांख्य योगा, तो ये बेसिकली डुअलिटी हिंदू फिलॉसफी की बात करता था, डुअलिटी की, पुरुष और प्रकृति वाली. तो तो ये क्या गीता में जो अभी ये जो पॉइंट्स आए ये डुअलिटी से रिलेट नहीं कर रहे थे?
No, they don't relate at all. So here, while it is called Sankhya Yoga and the Sankhya Darshan and Sankhya Yoga, तो आप जो बोल रहे हैं पुरुष और प्रकृति,
हाँ,
उसको सांख्य दर्शन में समझाया गया है. Okay. लेकिन सांख्य जो है, सांख्य दर्शन is the analytical दर्शन. That is when you analyze categories, पुरुषा है, प्रकृति है, पुरुषा के क्या क्या है, प्रकृति में क्या क्या है. So therefore the analytical capability is taken as buddhi, intelligence, jnana. So the basic connection is that Sankhya Yoga is the yoga of knowledge. So if you take any Bhagavad Gita book, and I'm just going to pull out at random one book that I have, and look at chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga will be translated as yoga of knowledge or Jnana Yoga. Now coming back to the question that you had asked, about the names of the chapters. 1 minute, I'll pull out those books for us. तो ये जो कमेंट्री है ये हिंदी में है, एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड श्रीमद् भगवद गीता पुरुषार्थ बोधिनी. ओके, इसको लिखा है हमारे एक मराठी गुरु ने, साठवलेकर. तो ही इज अ ग्रेट स्कॉलर. तो इनका जो पहला जो अध्याय है उसमें ही इज टेकन अप द वेरियस नेम्स ऑफ द चैप्टर्स. तो एक मिनट, मैंने वो देखा था, आई जस्ट पुल इट आउट. कर्मयोग कौन सा है? 1 2 3 करेक्ट. हाँ, तो ये इनका एक पेज है वेयर ही हैज गिवन डिफरेंट नेम्स. तो आई जस्ट रीड इट टू यू. जैसे अर्जुन विषाद योग है, वो तो अर्जुन विषाद योग ही है. सांख्य योग का दूसरा नाम है सर्व गीतार्थ सूत्र. सारे गीत का सूत्र उसमें है. ओके, कर्म योग का और कोई नाम नहीं है. जो आपका 4th चैप्टर है ज्ञान कर्म संन्यास योग. एक नाम है ब्रह्मार्पणम योग, दूसरा नाम है ब्रह्मार्पणम स्वस्व रूप परिज्ञान योग, देन ज्ञान योग. ओके, जो आपका 5th चैप्टर है उसका एक ही है. जो 6th चैप्टर है ध्यान योग, उसके नाम है आत्म संयम योग, अध्यात्म योग. राइट. फिर जो आपका 7th चैप्टर है उसका वैसे जो ट्रेडिशनल नेम है ज्ञान विज्ञान योग है, लेकिन कई लोगों ने ज्ञान योग कहा है. और ज्ञेय ध्येय प्रतिपाद्य तत्व ब्रह्म निरूपण योग. तो ओके,
this is actually too detailed research. उसमें जाएंगे तो शायद और कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे.
हाँ, right. So these are all, when you are very comfortable भाई 8th चैप्टर क्या है, उसमें कितने श्लोक हैं, क्या क्या बोला है, कहाँ जो है, कौन कौन सा कमेंटेटर कहाँ गोली दे रहा है. राइट. I know exactly where the fellow is giving goli, where his scholarship is limited. तो इसीलिए because if you read 5 commentators, you know that, see, out of pure identity, if one word in Sanskrit is understood in 3 ways, there will be 6 commentators who will say the 3 ways. अब जो उसमें थोड़ा जो ignorant commentator है, या to be honest, ISKCON टाइप में, ISKCON में बहुत गोली देते हैं. इसलिए I just don't like ISKCON because उनको they want to promote the Vaishnava style, correct? तो वैष्णव स्टाइल जो है उनका लाइफ स्टाइल अच्छी बात है, उसमें कोई कमी नहीं है. लेकिन उसको प्रमोट करने के लिए संस्कृत से वफादारी नहीं है उनको. संस्कृत बहुत झूठ बोलते हैं वो लोग. तो उनको जो चाहिए बोल देते हैं. Therefore, if anybody wants to seriously understand the Gita, you may adopt the ISKCON lifestyle. तो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आप चुटिया रखो, तिलक लगाओ, प्रसाद खाओ, हरे राम बोलो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लेकिन भाई जब आप टेक्स्ट इंटरप्रेट करते हो वहां तो झूठ मत बोलो ना. अलग से आप किताब लिखो, भाई भगवत गीता का ये है, लेकिन हम कहते हैं ऐसे करो। तो दोनों को इतना इंटरमिक्स कर देते हैं वो लोग कि यू डोंट नो वेयर द ट्रूथ इज। दिस इज माय फंडा।
नहीं, वो तो गीता वर्ड इटसेल्फ, गीता, कृष्णा और योगा, ये सब वर्ड ब्रांड भी है ना, तो वो अपनी फिलॉसफी में वो ब्रांड का यूज करना चाहते हैं,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
इसी तरह से
तो
इंटरप्रेट करते हैं। तो
हाँ, तो उनका तो जो अनाड़ी होता है वो तो भाई हरे राम 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 हरे हरे में खुश हो जाता है। लेकिन इफ यू एक्चुअली गो इनटू व्हाट दे आर सेइंग, दे आर एब्सोल्युटली ऑल ओवर द प्लेस। देयर स्कॉलरशिप इज जीरो। जीरो बोल तो जीरो। अब कोई इस्कॉन वाला होता है वो तो हमसे खफा हो जाता है। तो मैं तो कहता हूँ बहुत खफा। ऐसे लोग, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट योर साधना। साधना में मैं 100% मानता हूँ कि भाई अगर हरे राम मंत्र महामंत्र बोलते हैं उसको, उसका उसके 16 माला आप 5 साल करो, एक दिन में 16 माला, आपके मुंह में तो ऐसी चमक आ जाएगी कि उसमें कोई डाउट ही नहीं है। नो डाउट, उसमें कोई मुझे दिक्कत ही नहीं है। लेकिन मेरी दिक्कत ये है कि भाई आपका
Nonsense.
इक्वेशन जो संस्कृत में है उसमें आप गोली मत दो। उसमें बहुत गोली देते हैं, जबरदस्त जबरदस्त। एनीवे, coming back to that, then all the other chapters are same. Then okay, 13th chapter जो हमारा 34-35 श्लोका वाला है, उसका ट्रेडिशनल नेम है क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ योग है। तो अलग अलग नाम है, प्रकृति पुरुष विवेक योग है, क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ विभाग योग है, क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ विवेक योग है, तो विवेक योग विभाग योग है। तो ऐसे ऐसे छोटे छोटे चेंजेस हैं which reflect the point of view of the commentator. But what you find in modern times is the standardized names as have been given by Shankaracharya, and Shankaracharya has given fairly good names. So ye hai funda. So the thing is that every aspect of the Gita, unless you read 5 commentators, you don't know who is giving goli. So it all depends upon, see, one is to understand. Yes, you have to understand the basic logic. But the other thing is, see, all commentators are all human, and you are as much a commentator as them. When you read 5 commentators, you also become one commentator. Mentally, you may not have written it down, लेकिन आपके दिमाग में तो चल रहा है ना कि ये क्या बोल रहा है, वो क्या बोल रहा है. So I tell you, it is fun, correct? वो 60 साल का जो बुढ़ा बैठा है आपके सामने, और भाई आप भी हमारे एज के हैं, तो हो और कोई काम नहीं है, बट मैं दिन भर यही करते रहता हूँ. मेरी शाम की क्लास होती है, तो शाम की क्लास में सबकी बजा देता हूँ मैं. And then, if you have an objection here, this is the answer. So it is great fun. But obviously, traditional scholars do not respect me. There's no need, to gain their respect, because उनका एक line of thought होता है. So mine is free flowing. I say ISKCON is good when their shlokas are good, when their commentary is good. I say they are bad when they are bad. I say Shankaracharya has overstated the matter because I don't have any. I mean, personally, I like Shankaracharya, but sometimes, he goes overboard on one point. So, एक balance होता है. Everybody is human. They go overboard on certain ideas. Correct. So you are able to at least see that someone is going overboard when you read 4 commentaries. If you read only one commentary, it is impossible for you to know कि भाई कितना गोली कौन दे रहा है. And this is what happens, So people pose as great Gyanis, and unfortunately they take people for a ride because they don't give the source. I always give the source. I say, boss, this is the source. You read it yourself, and then if you have a disagreement on interpretation, then we can talk. So that is, that is modern research, right? In your PhD, you cannot write whatever you want. You have to say, this is my reference. This is what this paper says. I don't agree, and therefore there's a research gap. This is how we do our PhD. I'm doing exactly the same thing. ये एक श्लोका है. In fact, today I have to do a lot of homework on 10th chapter because my class said, sir, we are totally disappointed with the 10th chapter because उसमें विभूति योगा है. मैं ये हूँ, मैं प्रहलाद हूँ, मैं रवि हूँ, मैं ये हूँ, मैं मारुत हूँ. So, sir, what is the meaning of all this? Krishna is going all over the place. What is the funda? I am disappointed with this Krishna. book करना पड़ेगा दोपहर को. But I can tell you it is fun because there's nothing like the Gita. Gita is the total summary of the entire matter. In fact, I got 2 more books yesterday. This is a book by, there was a very famous philosopher called R.D. Ranade. He was a professor of philosophy as well as a thinking person. तो उन्होंने लिखा है भगवद गीता as a philosophy of God realization, where he has compared Christianity, he has compared Tilak, he has compared Gandhi, he has compared all the modern commentators, and he's given his philosophy. And what he has also done is he has extracted all that and put in a little book called Dhyana Yoga. I will do this actually, you know, ये बहुत ही बढ़िया लिखा है इन्होंने. So he has put it into ethics, metaphysics, and mysticism, you know. So he's taken the shlokas, you know, given a bracketing. So you see, what I love about all these guys is everybody takes a different kind of categorization, and the same shloka that we did as Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga will find itself in some other category somewhere else. And that is the overarching intelligence of the commentator. So anyway, sir, मैं तो ऐसे बोलते ही जाऊंगा. तो अभी तो फिलहाल आपका होमवर्क ये है कि जो मैंने 9 चैप्टर दिए हैं वो भगवत गीता को हाथ में रख के पढ़िए, so that at least the themes that you have, you get familiar with. And then once you have read the themes of the 9 chapters, then you go to the insights. So if we can do this across this week, then what will happen is we can have a more, I mean, you're already familiar with many of the concepts because of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, but this will reinforce your chapter-wise understanding. So you will realize that every chapter has got multiple yogas. And that is the biggest challenge of a chapter, because we think by our modern textbook philosophy that one chapter means one topic. ऐसा नहीं है भगवद गीता में. चैप्टर का टॉपिक एक है, चैप्टर में 5-6 अलग-अलग चीजें हैं, कोई भक्ति योग है, ज्ञान योग है, ये है. As we saw in the synthesis of yoga, you have 4 yogas in one shloka. Then what to talk about different shlokas with different themes. So it is, so you need a lot of lifelong intelligent people's masala, which is what I have gathered, you know, because if I were just like you, see, intellectually we are all at the same level. यार ठीक है यार, B में पास कर लिया, काम कर लिया, ठीक है, but this is not easy. The point I'm trying to make is this, जो एक बंदे ने एक किताब लिखा है, मेरे पास जो 50 किताब हैं, जो एक बंदे ने एक किताब लिखा है, उसका जिंदगी भर का स्टडी है बॉस. Correct. So when you have the life realization of an individual and you have 50 life realizations, no, not 50, I have more than that, then you are really blessed if you go through it. तो ये है मेरा situation. तो इसलिए अब वो realization मेरे पास रख के मैं क्या करूँगा? And therefore there is a need to share it. So anyway, I have given all Goli to you guys today, but then do your homework and we'll come back. But anyway, your thoughts on what I've said. Yeah, Rastogi ji, you are on mute.
हमने कहा 50 में से 2 का भी आ जाए उतना काफी है हमारे लिए.
बिल्कुल. So you don't know what will hit you, right? Different words hit different people in different ways. So even if one word of that life learning hits you, boy, आपकी तो जिंदगी, it becomes clearer, right? It becomes better.
विश्वरूप को लेट ही सही, बट एटलीस्ट ये उन्होंने कंप्लीट तो कर दिया हमारा फोरम, तो उसके लिए धन्यवाद.
एक्चुअली घर में इतना काम था ना, मैं इतना बिजी था, मैं फोन भी नहीं देख पाया.
नहीं, इसको मैंने फोन भी किया था, he did not take the call, फिर मैसेज भी ड्रॉप किया.
मैं मतलब इतना बिजी था, एक्चुअली वाइफ थोड़ा परेशान थी, इसलिए उसको थोड़ा बहुत सपोर्ट देने की कोशिश कर रहा था.
राज, आप अपना जो प्रेजेंटेशन उसका है, जो पेपर प्रेजेंट किया था, वो पेपर का जो है ना प्रेजेंटेशन, वो डालिएगा. That was very interesting.
हाँ, क्योंकि उस वक्त हम लोग ठीक से देख नहीं पा रहे थे एक्चुअली. वो वीडियो में देखने में ना पूरा उतना टाइम नहीं था एक्चुअली. यू हैड लॉट ऑफ मटेरियल बट देयर वाज नो टाइम विद फॉर यू. तो वो थोड़ा अखर रहा था हम लोगों को.
You know, in fact, that is there just in a different folder in the same Google Drive. So I'll just copy it and put it in our own drive. So you will see both the paper and my presentation, and you can, you know, correlate the two.
अच्छा, उन्होंने स्पीच रिकॉर्डिंग, वो तो YouTube वाला लिंक तो अभी भी काम कर रहा होगा मेरे ख्याल से.
I think
उन्होंने
so. Can you send me that link? I don't know.
वो लिंक मैंने उस दिन उस पर ग्रुप पे डाला था ऑलरेडी।
Oh,
नहीं
okay,
ग्रुप
I
पे
will-
डाला था मगर वो तो चला गया होगा ना उसके साथ।
नहीं नॉर्मली रहता है वो उसकी उनकी ऑथर्स की चॉइस होती है। जब मैं अभी दोबारा देख ले रहा हूँ।
Yeah, so if you can just send it to me
अगर-
because I want to send it to a few
अच्छा
others.
हाँ आपने वो प्रैक्टिकल गीता ज्ञान में डाला था आपने।
हाँ बट वो डे 1 का था, डे 2 वो एक्चुअली उनके चैट्स में ही था। जब वो लोग उनकी
Okay.
चैट्स मैंने देखा तो चैट्स में ही उन्होंने वो शेयर किया था और ये अभी भी है।
अच्छा
By the way, I must share with you
Ah.
that one of the top scholars or top, he commented later that your presentation was good. So
नहीं
मैंने कहा,
प्रेजेंटेशन वाज
ठीक है,
डेफिनेटली गुड।
बट राज मुझको एक चीज थोड़ा सा अखर रही थी कि आपको उन्होंने सिर्फ पार्टिसिपेंट करके सर्टिफिकेट दिया।
हाँ, that's okay. That's okay. वो तो उनका स्टैंडर्ड है।
तो
That is okay.
आपको
That's
उनको
not-
लिखना चाहिए ना सर्टिफिकेट लुक्स लाइक पार्टिसिपेंट, तो जैसे जूम में जिसने अटेंड कर लिया ऐसा लगता है।
Correct. That's okay. Anyway, it does not matter. I simply shared it because I had shared the entire thing. So the thing is that भाई,
तो ये मैंने लिंक दोबारा शेयर कर दिया है राज।
हाँ,
Okay.
okay, I'll do
वो
that.
बट दैट इज ऑफ डे 1। आई थिंक डे 2 का भी कहीं उसी चैप्टर में कहीं पर होगा,
Okay.
शायद मिल जाएगा बिकॉज डे 1 ही अटेंड किया था। डे 1 वाज योर सेशन, तो वो अटेंड किया था।
हाँ, so
अच्छा, Raj,
yeah.
one thing, I just want to interrupt. Actually, I was actually waiting for you, so I heard the speeches of other speakers as well, and two interesting persons. I really liked their speeches, but one was I started hearing at the end of his speech, Mr. Anant something. He was talking of yogas with Gita actually. And that was very interesting, but I could not follow his lecture. So one person said, "You please, could you give me your link or give me some information?" He said, "I don't have any information recorded anywhere, but since you are asking, I can give you the message in details." Anant something, Ramaswamy, he was talking of
That
yoga.
link,
So
link he has already shared.
what-
Sunil Jigar.
So was he the person with the white beard? Slightly
Yeah,
white
yeah,
beard?
yeah.
Okay. So I will share with you something interesting. He is Raghu Ananta Narayan. He is a
Achha,
disciple
Raghu
of-
Ananthanarayan. Yeah.
so- yeah. And actually, he and me are working together now.
Achha.
So we're working on executive coaching through the Bhagavad Gita and through the Yoga Sutra. So we're working together. So I will definitely, he's going to be writing a paper on that particular topic that you heard, but I will share with you the links of some of the books that he has written.
Okay.
And they call it Antaranga Yoga. आपका जो अंतरंग है, बहिरंग we understand, the outside organs, which is your hands, your feet, your senses of action. But Antaranga Yoga is about your manas and buddhi, and that is what he's talking about. So this is really good, actually. So actually, both these seminars that, the one that I had earlier in May, the Maharshi one, which you had seen, and this has put me in touch with a lot of like-minded people who want to actually use our Indian tradition and contextualize it for a modern audience. So that is the good thing that's happening.
Raj, another thing, there was a lady who was speaking of how to deal with your household problems. I mean, household problems, the solutions for household. That lady's talk was also very interesting. She gave her email ID. I could not copy it actually. Swarup, I think, madam.
Saraswati Sir, she spoke about parenting, right? Parenting and all that.
No, not parenting. Household problem, not Saraswati. Swarup, I will tell you her name. I'm not able to recall. Household
स्वामिनी जो
problem.
थी,
हाँ क्या? Just tell me.
जो स्वामिनी थी,
नहीं स्वामी जी नहीं, लेडी थी, बहुत बढ़िया बोल रही थी.
मौसमी देवरॉय.
Devroy.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
is in the last session was there. So you can go through that YouTube link. It is 4.5 hour session. Entire session is there. I have just now shared it again.
Okay.
You can
Okay,
see
okay.
that entire video. Everybody's name and every information is there.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. So that entire recording is there. You can see in the group. It is there.
सुनील जी आप उसका स्पीच अगर सुनेंगे ना इतना स्पेल बाउंड हो जाएंगे ना. Actually, they were talking on small subjects, so they were able to focus on that subject properly, and we were able to also realize what the subject was about.
Yeah.
And,
See, I just saw in particular Mosmi Devroy, you can see at about 3 hours 54 minutes. Right?
Okay, 3 hours.
So you don't have to see everything. You can go to Mosmi Devroy at 3 hours 54 minutes. Okay?
Achha, achha. Okay, okay.
So great, yeah, absolutely great. To have this conversation. So I'll do my homework. I'll add up the other chapters also, and would suggest that you guys are able to kindly go through the Bhagavad Gita along with whatever I presented, and then we can take up, in fact, a discussion based on your reading. So I would keep quiet the next time, and you can come up with your thoughts and your insights. That would be a better way, because it should not be one-way transmission. At least, at some point in time, it should be a two-way transmission, equal 50-50 balanced. Yes. So on that count, I think I'll end the session today. And thank you so much.
Raj, just
Yeah, tell me.
Equifinality, multifinality,
Ah,
refined model, interpretation 1, interpretation 2, interpretation 3.
yeah.
And then refined model. Actually, you have just told the subject, but we were interested in knowing the psychology of human nature. There, we were not able to enter actually. But this was a very fine way of presenting things which we need to know. This actually psychology is the most important thing. We are all wanting to get into details mentally, which requires psychology, which is a psychological demand actually.
Yeah, so I'm going to be sharing my paper as well as presentation in our folder. So I would request you to have a look at that. And then, there is a model of human behavior that is there on the left side. All the yellow boxes were the model of human behavior, and the box on the right side were the correlations with the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So you'll find there is a very interesting correlation. But for you to understand human nature, you go through the yellow colored boxes in a sequence first, and you'll be able to get a clear picture about how the human personality operates. In fact, I'm thinking that I may use that model to actually make a proposal to MNREC. I have not yet sent the proposal. I was thinking of what to actually put together. So I'll do that. But anyway,
Okay.
I would suggest that we have a discussion on that also. So therefore, I will do my homework. So my jobs are two. One is to put up the paper and the presentation in our folder, and the other one is to complete the slide in terms of the next 9 chapters, which is from the 10th to the 18th chapter. I'll do that. And to the extent that each one of you can read as much as you can, we have a discussion that becomes a better way of getting to internalize the learning. So internalization of learning will not come from me speaking, will come from you speaking. Okay, sir? So on that count, let me take it. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you for your time. I've taken more time today, 15 minutes more, but thank you so much. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
namaskar.